three chased after, actually two of them.
This morning.
Michaels chased after Ahmed Arbery, and literally pulled the truck around. There was a pickup truck in front of him, and then he's going to run around them, and then out comes Travis McMichael with a gun, and they get into a tussle, and you know what happened. Ahmed Arbery was shot several times and died. And of course, the politics of this is Ahmed Arbery is a black man, and the McMichaels and Brian are white. I mean, thank goodness this wasn't a cop, because that would have blown up. McMichaels with police officers go crazy. But let's spend a few moments, I have Raymond here, talking about the basis of Travis's defense, self-defense. And this is Georgia, too. Let's understand that. To the jury. All right, so Wayne and I were talking about this, and let's just get into it. The self-defense and the timeline. That was so important and is so important. Yeah, so one thing, broad strokes, because, you know, the Rittenhouse trial is going on as well. And one thing I will say is a lot of the things that Kyle Rittenhouse said in his defense, both on the stand and also, you know, before, have proven to be true. In other words, this guy hit me with a skateboard, this guy said this. Here, their stories up to a point are one thing, and then when they're in trouble finally, suddenly comes how threatening Arbery was, how concerned they were for their safety, all of these things. They are coming up with their whole defense only after the charges came. And here's why it's important. You remember the slow roll with the McMichaels about the police investigating it properly? Right, 2 months to charge them. 2 months to charge them. Their connections to police agencies in that area and the DA's office in that area. And I think here, the reason that only now are all these, this much narrower self-defense coming out is because they thought they weren't even going to be charged. They were not thinking about getting their ducks in a row, if you will, because they thought there wouldn't even be charges. And then there were, and then they had to scramble to kind of reconstruct their entire stated view and experience that day to fit a self-defense narrative. Yeah, to that point, the McMichaels were there at the shooting. Travis actually shot. Yep. His dad was standing was right there. The truck, right, and the neighbor was. And the neighbor, Brian, was videoing it to establish their defense that it was all okay. Well, you can point to that and say they must have thought that what they were doing was lawful, because otherwise, why would this guy report it? But what they may have thought was lawful in the moment was probably tainted by issues of racism and an overly aggressive, hyper-vigilant, wannabe cop mentality. You know, somebody's purse went missing in the neighborhood, and one of the McMichaels got on social media and said someone's playing with fire on this side of the neighborhood. He was geared up over a missing purse. Yeah, and it also said there were a series of burglaries, but no one called 911. Burglaries were not reported. There was absolutely, Arbery went into a house that was being constructed several times, and the owner of the house, through his attorney, said, I think he was going in there to drink from a drinking fountain. He didn't do anything bad. He didn't steal anything, right? And that's all on video. And I, as the owner of this property, I don't have a problem. So that's leading up to now they're on the stand saying, I had to shoot him because otherwise I believe he would have shot me with my own gun. And to that point, at that moment, his defense could be legitimate. Because Arbery was grabbing for his gun. You can see that they were in a tussle. And under those circumstances, in a vacuum, you can listen to McMichael say, he was grabbing for my gun, I was in fear of my life, and I had to shoot him. That's a legitimate argument, whether you believe it or not. However, as we talked about it, the few seconds leading up to that point, and it's going to depend on what the judge says to the jury. Ignore those few seconds, or you have to only look at the moment of the shooting in terms of the self-defense. Do you look only at the exact moment the trigger was pulled? Or do you look the 5 seconds before it was pulled, the 10 seconds? Do you look a minute? Do you look 2 minutes? And we don't know yet how they're going to be instructed or how the jury on their own might decide to try to evaluate whether it's self-defense. It's the same exact problem you see with a lot of the police shootings. The moment the police officer pulls the trigger, and that's the only moment you look at, it seems legit. But if you rewind even 10 seconds, it tells a different story. And I think that's the same situation we have here. If you go back even 10 seconds, you do not have a guy whose life is in danger.
Yeah.
And so then it becomes, how quickly are you allowed to react? And also, what is his level of responsibility for pointing a shotgun at the guy in the first place? Because I would argue the second he points a shotgun at Arbery, Arbery now has a right to self-defense. And if Arbery decides, however unwisely, he's going to try to defend himself by getting the gun away, then you have Arbery acting in self-defense. Right. And this guy killing Arbery after creating a need for Arbery to engage in self-defense.
Yeah, that's going to be the argument. And then the use of lethal force. Was he genuinely afraid that Arbery was using lethal force as he was making towards McMichaels? I will see which way the jury's going to go. I say conviction. What do you say?
I would say this. The prosecutors in this case are doing a much better job than the prosecutors in the Rittenhouse case. And looking at it, if you take passion out of it, politics out of it, it looks like a conviction to me.
Right. And we'll find out when it goes to jury and we get the deliberations. Coming up, the Malcolm X assassination. Some news on that. It goes back a long time, but a couple of people were exonerated that were convicted. Of course, one of them died 120 years ago. It's, posthumous overturning a conviction really don't help those people very much, but it's a moral position, especially for their families. They'll be back with that and your chance to win $1,000. Let's check in with Jennifer.
The number of Americans applying for unemployment benefits has fallen for a seventh straight week. The Labor Department says 268,000 claims were filed last week, a drop of 1,000 from a week earlier. President Biden will host Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and Mexican President Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador at the White House. Today's summit is expected to focus on the economy, immigration, and the pandemic. And a couple from Canada is enjoying a sweet memory after their message in a bottle turned up an ocean away. When the couple was in Florida 6 years ago, they threw out the bottle, asking whoever found it to contact them. They even put $2 in the bottle as an incentive. Last week, the bottle washed up on a shore in Portugal. We're looking at your ride on the 210 with Kfi in the sky next.
Refinancing your house is a big decision. There are times when you don't want to do it. For example, when interest rates are super high, you just pay off your mortgage. But when interest rates are as low as they are, and the equity in your home is as high as it is because the property value is exploding, now it makes sense. You take that equity, which is earning you nothing, borrow against it, and invest that money, or remodel college tuition. And this is a great time to do it because you're paying very little back or very little interest. Mark Tice of HMS Capital, who I've known over 16 years, and I've done 2 mortgages with him, recommends that you apply with his company, of course, and with a competing company at the same time. Go ahead. Go to a competitor. And he's that confident that he can get you that best deal. No appraisal, no application fees of any kind. Call 833-255-5698, 833-255-5698. Visit hmscapital.com.
HMS Capital Funding is a BBA of Goldman & Finance, NMLS ID number 2427. HMS Capital is licensed by the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation. Under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act. License number 4130360. Equal housing lender.
We've got some delays on the 210.
Well, we sure do. It's the northeast corner of San Fernando Valley, City of San Fernando. The eastbound 210 around Hubbard, that's in between the I-5 and the 118. Had a couple of almost in canvas fires. We were looking at about 15 minutes ago. Fire department was there blocking the right lane. I think they're on the move right now, so just a little slow going through, and that's the end of the world for you driving through. A little peace of mind now for LA Avenue, the 118 ballpark. It's almost yesterday morning. My goodness, major crash, had the whole thing shut down around Falcon, but it's good now, not to worry. Pasadena to Glendale, westbound 134, it's good. It does get slow once you get through the I-5 from Hollywood Way to the interchange, all lanes open. And finally, South 57, Diamond Bar to Anaheim, that's the 60 down to the 91. Just morning drive slow, not too bad. Injured in an accident, visit superwomansuperlawyer.com. Jeff Barr, KFI in the sky.
Amazon Delivery Service Partners are hiring full-time delivery drivers to meet growing customer demand. Earn at least $19.50 per hour at select stations, plus benefits, and a sign-on bonus of $2,000 from participating DSPs if you apply now. Apply today at www.amazon.com/driver. That's www.amazon.com/driver. No delivery experience required. Terms apply. Hourly rate includes a limited time incentive for delivering a route full-time between October 17th to December 25th, 2021.
Hey y'all, it's Dean. The holidays are here, which means Aldic Home is now a winter wonderland. Every imaginable element of holiday decor, if it isn't an Aldic, it probably doesn't exist. And trees, not just any trees, the finest pre-lit trees on the planet. Best of all, Aldic's expert staff is here to teach you how to make your own home a holiday wonderland too. Bring the fam, start the season at the most beautiful holiday display in the country, Aldic Home. Find them on Sepulveda in Van Nuys or on the web at aldichome.com.
Hi, we're Hope. Meet Dr. Robert Lewis. He's a neurosurgeon at Pickup Family Neurosciences Institute who loves camping with his daughter. He is also a nationally recognized expert in minimally invasive brain tumor surgery at Hoag. Dr. Lewis would love to get to know you and is ready to make a positive difference in your family's life. Get to know Hoag. Visit hoaghealth.org and find your physician today.
When you're north of 65, in a lot of ways life gets easier. Menus have whole sections dedicated to you, and people start offering you their seat. By enrolling in a Medicare health plan through Kaiser Permanente, that easy streak keeps on going. Our high-quality health plans make it easy to access your health needs, often under one roof. So take advantage of all those senior benefits, so long as they benefit your health. Visit kfi.org/Medicare to learn more. Kaiser Permanente. Thrive.
By now, you've heard the news. Boosters for Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson vaccines are available. They help keep your immunity strong and help keep you and others protected against COVID-19 and its variants. Visit myturn.ca.gov to find out if you're eligible and to find a booster near you. Let's keep each other safer and healthier this winter. Get your booster, and don't forget to get your flu shot, too. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
Having efficient equipment is essential to operating your small business.
SoCal Gas is here to help you by offering rebates on qualifying energy-saving natural gas equipment.
Save thousands of dollars on tankless hot water heaters, commercial fryers, and more.
They're committed to helping you meet and exceed the challenges of being a small business owner.
Not only will your small business save by using these rebates, but having energy-efficient equipment will stack up savings for years to come.
See how they can help by visiting www.socalgas.com/rebate.
Will I be able to smile again?
Can I eat my favorite foods?
Can I live without worrying about my teeth?
These are questions we hear every day at Clear Choice Dental Implant Center. In a free 1-hour consultation, we can provide answers. You may be a candidate for dental implants, which look, feel, and function like real teeth. And if you are, the answer to, can I feel like myself again, will be yes.
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 To find out more, visit us at clearchoice.com.
You know, most people think that varicose veins are just embarrassing. They're just a cosmetic issue. Hey, it's Dr. Wendy Walsh. You should know that if left untreated, varicose veins can cause ulcers, infections, and even dangerous blood clots. West Medical specializes in the most advanced, minimally invasive varicose vein treatments available, and it's covered by most PPO insurances. So call 1-800-WEST-MED or westmedical.com to set up a free consultation with a vein expert today.
I feel incredible because I called 1-800-WEST-MEDICAL.
I don't understand why people lose their minds over daylight saving time. The debate over switching clocks is more polarizing now. You can't do something or say something without polarizing people. You have nothing else going on? Gary and Shannon, weekdays at 10 a.m. You can't pick up a hobby like to learn how to cook Thai food in your own kitchen on KFI.
KFI AM, this is 40 Bill Handel here, and the morning crew. On a Thursday morning, November 18th, let's start with your chance to win some bucks.
KFI has your chance to win $1,000. Text the nationwide keyword BAG, B-A-G, to 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's BAG to 200-200.
And if you win, you'll get a call from a number you do not recognize. You must answer it. We do it 14 times throughout the day, 5:20 a.m. to 7:20 p.m. 20 minutes after the hour. Less the chances for you to win that $1,000. The story of Malcolm X. One of the more interesting books that I have ever read is the autobiography of Malcolm X. Malcolm X was a black leader, by many regarded now as a civil rights leader, but certainly during the time he was alive, not even a chance. He was with the Nation of Islam. He was their spokesperson, effectively, and became a national figure, and boy, was he a lightning rod. And he was assassinated in 1966 by other members of the Nation of Islam because he had turned against the leader of the nation, Elijah Muhammad, I guess the president, the Grand Poobah, and he was revered by the Nation of Islam. I mean, Elijah Muhammad was, the great Elijah Muhammad, may peace be upon him. And Malcolm X came to the conclusion that Elijah Muhammad was a womanizer, lived very large on the backs of poor blacks who donated money to the Nation of Islam. By the way, Louis Farrakhan today is the president of Nation of Islam. And it's a very aggressive black organization that doesn't particularly like white people. They were separatists. They wanted America to be black and white, with black America actually even advocating moving to Africa. And so he is at a speech, and he is shot, and he knew he was going to die. I mean, he had said it. He was, 39 years old when he was killed. He was assassinated, and has come down as obviously a very important historical figure. A quick sidebar story to show you the kind of racism. When he was a young man, and he was a criminal. I mean, he did jail time, and he robbed. When he was in his early 20s, two black men, Malcolm X and a buddy of his, were with white women, and they were caught literally just smoking marijuana, which of course was a crime. And in those days, the police and other members of society were so upset about black men and white women that the level of hatred against blacks who consorted with white women was so extraordinary. So they get popped, and all four of them are caught smoking marijuana. The two white women, and the two blacks. The two white women, and they're all equally guilty. The two white women are let go at trial. They are, I think they got maybe probation. Malcolm X and his buddy, first time offense, I think got 3 years. You put the blacks in jail, you let the whites go. And he grew up with that kind of racism. But remember, this is at the start of the civil rights movement. And so in his autobiography, he talks about the utter racism that went on in the country and how he dealt with it, and how he became politicized, how he became radicalized towards the black movement. But while Martin Luther King was talking about nonviolence, and that's the way to deal with racism, Malcolm X and others were advocating violence. That's the way. That's the only way that African Americans are going to prevail and establish their rights. And I think, I don't know if Louis Farrakhan is still advocating violence, but man, he is, nuts. It's like he's back in those days. In the Nation of Islam, you see these guys. These are, I've seen them around at various events on television and on the news, and they wear bow ties, really good, well-dressed, black suits usually, white shirts, bow ties, very conservative, very polite, and they sell bean pies. I mean, that's their thing. It's like almost like Girl Scout cookies, but their thing are bean pies that they sell for revenue. And the bean pies are fantastic. I must tell you, they're the best tasting bean pies you've ever had in your life. I mean, there are a couple of interesting quirks with the Nation of Islam. So let me do this. I want to take a break and come back and talk about the assassination, and the three men were convicted. Two men, it appears they were probably innocent, and they were exonerated. But there's one big, big problem with the exoneration, and I'll share that with you when we come back. In the meantime, let's check in with Jennifer Jones-Lee.
LA's having a 3-day memorial to remember people who died from COVID-19. Mayor Garcetti's office has organized the Strength and Love, the City of Angels COVID-19 Memorial. People are encouraged to clap at 8 tonight for the city's first responders, essential workers, and others. The memorial starts today. News is brought to you by the Cunning Dental Group. LA County Sheriff Villanueva says safety on trains and buses in the county will be non-existent under a new proposal by a committee of the MTA.
On November 3rd of this year, this official state advisory committee voted 14-0, and I have to highlight that, to recommend abolishing all 3 policing contracts.
The sheriff says if the board approves the proposal, his department, the LAPD, and the Long Beach PD would no longer handle security. Instead, the proposal would shift $75.2 million to create an ambassador program and contract nonprofits to offer assistance aboard trains and buses. California State University has announced it will expand a program that offers free iPads and other technology tools to students at 6 more campuses, including 5 in Southern California. Under the program known as C-Success, first-year and new transfer students participating campuses would get an iPad Air, Apple Pencil, and keyboard. Students will be provided with devices for the entirety of their undergrad experience at the CSU. The president will host the first North American Leaders Summit in 5 years. ABC's Andy Field says today's meeting at the White House will feature the Canadian Prime Minister and Mexican President.
President Biden will lead talks on everything from COVID to migration, trade, and climate change. Canada and Mexico plan to announce a vaccine sharing agreement with other nations.
The three will also talk about labor shortages and how migrants may be able to help solve some of those problems. A Thanksgiving storm could affect millions of people who plan to travel for the holiday.
This one right now looks like it could take us from Sunday night all the way through Wednesday. So there could be impacts for different parts of the Great Lakes and Northeast for days on end. And that's what we're really going to be watching for.
ABC's Ginger Z says the storm's expected to bring a lot of rain, snow, and strong winds to several states right up to Thanksgiving Day. And Sesame Street is tackling a current problem with a new character.
A 7-year-old Korean-American character named Ji Young will make her debut in an upcoming special dealing with anti-Asian racism and the surge of violence during the pandemic. The Thanksgiving Day's See Us Coming Together, a Sesame Street special, will also feature celebrity guests including Padma Lakshmi, Naomi Osaka, and Simu Liu. Ji Young's character, performed by puppeteer Kathleen Kim, will deal with the fallout after being told to go home in an incident that takes place off-screen. The special is part of Sesame Street's program Coming Together, which deals with racial justice. Michael Crozier, KFI News.
We're dealing with traffic on the 10.
You betcha. Well, good morning. We're kind of a normal commute here, meaning everything's kind of slow, no major problems, but keep it that way. But here's the drive from Pomona to through El Monte, westbound 10, 57 through to 605. It's slow, but you should expect this every morning, so it's pretty good news. All lanes are open. Looks like it'll stay that way through the 710. Now, east 10 around Santa Anita, there was a little unusual slow now as we're looking out. I didn't see anything in lanes. Maybe an animal running around, I'm not really sure, but just be heads up. That's East 10 Santa Anita before you get to the 605, so people are slamming on the brakes there. The 210, there was a rig issue that we definitely saw at Sunflower. That's a popular spot for problems for some reason, so real slow coming away from the 57. It's going to stay that way most of the way through Santa Anita and then finally good into Pasadena. And the 710, Long Beach up to East LA, kind of normal there. Real slow northbound, getting through the 105 through Florence and improved southbound. Getting busy fast now, coming away from the 5. All lanes are open through the 91. Injured in an accident, visit SuperWomanSuperLawyer.com. Jeff Paul, AFI in the sky.
The LA Kings were shut out by the Washington Capitals 2-0. Both of Washington's goals came late in the game and courtesy of the Caps' Garnett Hathaway. LA sits at 5th in the Pacific Division. Can the division-leading Anaheim Ducks win 9 in a row? They're going to try when they host the Carolina Hurricanes at 7 o'clock this evening. I'm Wayne Resnick, KFI Sports. If you are looking to get out of your house, you're going to move, downsize, you have financial issues, you inherited a home, the first thing you think of is listing it with an agent, real estate agent, and paying 6%. And cleaning, painting, repairing, and you've got the buyers, potential buyers going through your house. You have to be gone, and all of your tchotchkes that you love go into a closet because no one else likes them. I mean, it's just a pain. There's another way of doing it. Selling your house for a fair price without any of that. No buyer walks through your house, no appraisal, no commission. You get paid in cash, fast, within 10 days if you need it. And that's exactly what directbuyers.com does. It's a local family-owned business around since 1986. Directbuyers.com. Janet and Matt, brother and sister, own the business. We have spent months talking about their business model. A lot of lowballers out there, not Janet and Matt. They'll never lowball you. They'll give you an honest, no-obligation offer. Go to directbuyers.com, directbuyers.com. Call 844-242-SELL, 844-242-SELL, directbuyers.com.
SoCal weather from KFI, partly cloudy today with highs from the 60s at the beaches, upper 60s to right around 70 for Orange County and Metro LA, mid-70s to right around 80 for the valleys and the Inland Empire. We lead locals, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee.
Hey Juan, I am tired of dead-end jobs that don't pay the bills. Any ideas?
Have you tried looking for a job in logistics?
Logistics? Aren't those just entry-level jobs?
Well, I started a few years ago at an entry level, but I've been promoted a couple of times, and now I'm a manager.
That's great.
Yeah, the pay is great. Managers can make anywhere from $70,000 to $90,000 a year.
Logistics helps build healthy communities. For more information, visit fontanachamber.org. This message brought to you by the members of the Fontana Chamber of Commerce.
Spectrum Business is proud to support small businesses with the best internet and phone services at the best value. But we want to do more. So now, for a limited time, get 1 month of services for free. That's right, 1 month on us. Get 200 megabit per second internet and business phones, and even TV, all free for 1 month. Plus free installation. Call 855-757-4544 or visit spectrum.com/business today. Restrictions apply.
Homeowners, with all the craziness in the world right now, want some good news? Mortgage rates continue to drop and are at near all-time lows. If your interest rate is higher than 1.75%, you need to call True Mortgage now. We're offering a 15-year fix at just 1.75% rate, 2.140% APR with no lender fees. That's right, no title fees, no escrow fees, and no appraisal fees. So what are you waiting for? Call True Mortgage now to see how much money you can save. But hurry, because this low 15-year fix at just 1.75% rate, 2.140% APR with no lender fees won't last long. Call 800-620-1162. 800-620-1162. That's 800-620-1162. Or visit TrueNow.com.
Sign on a licensed DBA True Mortgage is an equal housing lender. Terms and conditions apply. Based on loan amount of $400,000 monthly principal and interest payments. Primary residence only with a 50% loan to value. All loans subject to underwriting approval and not all applicants will qualify. Loans made or arranged pursuant to a California Finance Law License number 60-DBO-44713 and NMLS number 1626699.
Termite problems? Search PacificCoastTermite.com or call 800-PACIFIC.
KFI, Smart & Final, and Barilla Pasta are teaming up for this year's Pasta-thon. Donate at checkout at any Smart & Final location. KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk.
Good morning, Bill Handel on a Thursday morning of February 18th. I want to continue on with the story of the two men that were convicted in the assassination of Malcolm X, who was a black leader in the 60s. He was involved in the spokesperson for the Nation of Islam, a radical black organization that, if you don't know who Malcolm X is worth looking up. And the autobiography that he wrote is fascinating. In any case, he was gunned down at when he was speaking at an event in Harlem. 3 men were convicted. 2 of the men, and here's the fundamental flaw in their exoneration. 2 of the men have been exonerated. Now, they get 20 years in prison, many of those years in solitary confinement, maintaining their innocence every single moment. And then officially they've been exonerated, they didn't do it. And they're long dead. Completely dead. So why do you exonerate someone who didn't commit crime and was convicted
Ring on forever. Who's our favorite?
Power meets efficiency in the 2011 BMW Active Hybrid 750 Li. Step inside and experience the ultimate driving machine. It features an automatic transmission, rear-wheel drive, and a powerful 8-cylinder engine. A turbocharger is also included as an economical means of increasing performance.
Sharp character lines combine with a wide stance to create an aggressive yet elegant shape. Attractive alloy wheels furnish the fenders with style and sporty flair.
The interior of this vehicle is nothing short of spectacular, treating occupant comfort with paramount concern. With high-intensity discharge headlights illuminating your path, you'll always appreciate maximum visibility.
Enjoy your favorite music via the stereo system, which includes a CD player with MP3 capability, steering wheel mounted audio controls, and 16 speakers, yielding a symphony-like audio experience. BMW ensures the safety and security of its passengers with equipment such as a panic alarm, an emergency communication system, and four-wheel disc brakes with ABS. The available night vision system can detect pedestrians and animals up to 900 feet ahead, even in low light conditions.
The 2011 BMW Active Hybrid 750 Li. Distinctly rendered with the utmost precision, this vehicle handles with the agility and response of a sports sedan.
Distinctive. This CBB. Damn. Did you feel it? More. Yeah, it's not hard. I tried one. No, what's this? Every time, what's this? Never has her. Going to the river. No, I don't know which of those things are. The drinks in the bathroom shower. Man, of course that wasn't too. Man, the ghost light. Our performance break. Every time I this one. You must take it seriously before our message goes out. Otherwise, it really hurts. Your neighbor tries to knock upon your head.